Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I hope everybody's having a good day and has had a good day so far. There is a couple more games when it comes to tomorrow's slate. Not as much as last video, but this one there's more props out because there's 3 league games. So 3 games to go through when it comes to prop wise. Found a couple that I did like there. Couple money lines that I did find there as well. As always, if I do have any added plays, I will add them in the pinned comment. It could be later tonight, could be tomorrow morning, could be before the game start. Not always gonna have added plays just like last video because I don't want to force any plays. But if I do have any, they will be in the pinned comment, so you can check back if you want to see if I have any there. But I will get straight into the player props. And the first one is Dayot Upamecano to go lower than 102 passes playing at home for Bayern, going up against Leipzig. He's gone under this prop in 7 out of 13 games so far this season. And if you look at the games that he went over against Wolfsburg, in which Bayern has 71% of the ball. He went over against Kiel, in which they have 70% of the ball. Over against Frankfurt, they have 74% of the ball. Berlin, they held 78% of the ball. St. Pauli, they had 75% of the ball. Augsburg, they held 80% of the ball. And Heidenheim, who held 82% of the ball. And I do not see them getting this much possession against Leipzig. I do not see them getting 70%. Max, I see them getting is like 65%. And even if they hold that much, he will not go over this prop. He played against them in 1 game that season, and he did go over with 109. But that was because Bayern was down ever since the 20th minute and had to come back and fight. So ever since that prop there, ever since Leipzig scored in the 20th minute, Leipzig conceded possession, gave possession to Bayern, and Bayern was just holding the ball, passing the ball around, trying to find opportunities. But I do not see that happening here. If any team is to score first, I see it being Bayern. If anything, that's better for us because Bayern will, if anything, concede more possession to Leipzig so they can defend, and Leipzig want to hold the ball more so they can try to attack more. So the same way he went over last season, I see him going under this season in this game, especially because they're playing at home. So again, they're more likely to score first in this game, which means conceding possession there. And in general, he just goes under against these big teams, no matter if they hold more possession or not. Even without considering possession, just when they go against these big teams, this season alone, he's gone under against Leverkusen twice. He went under against Dortmund. He went under against PSG. He went under against Barcelona. He went under against Stuttgart. He went under against Aston Villa. He just goes under against these bigger teams. And in general, Leipzig give away the 5th least passes in the league in general. So I think it's a high prop against a high team that doesn't give a lot of passes. So I just like this prop in general. You can play this up to 98.5. I like Dayot Upamecano to go lower than 102.5 passes. And the second prop that I found that I like is Miguel Gutierrez to go higher than 1.5 shots assisted, playing at home for Girona, going up against Valladolid. He's averaged 1.51 per 90 so far this season, but he goes from averaging only 1 away all the way to 2 at home. So he averages that second at home, which is good for us. And he's gone over his prop in 7 out of 16 games in the league so far, but this jumps to 5 out of 8 when he's played at home. So that's a 63% hit rate when he plays at home, which is good for us. And if you look at the games that he went under in the very first home game, going up against Osasuna, in which he played as a left back, and the team as a whole only took 10 shots. He went under against Vallecano, in which he played as a left back again, and the team only took 11 shots. I'll mention the left back here soon, shortly. And then he went under recently, not that long ago, against Espanyol, in which Girona were up 4-0 after the first half. So Girona pretty much didn't really try to attack that much, so he went under there. So there's reasons why he went under. It's not like he just went under against these good matchups for a reason. Now he's playing Valladolid, who allowed the second most shots assisted at 11.4, and the second most shots in general at 16.1 away from home. And they can't defend long shots, they can't defend through balls, they can't defend counters, and that's just good for us because Miguel Gutierrez is a good passer, a good key passer. When he passes, he doesn't just pass to just pass total possession. He passes with a purpose, and he passes with the attention for his teammates to be able to attack, which is good for us. And he's been playing ever since, the first couple games of the season, halfway through the season. He shifted from a left back to either a left mid or an overlapping fullback, in which they play a 3-back, and then he'll be one of the 2 left mids and right mids who runs back and forth. So he's been playing much more as an attacking role halfway through the season, which is good for us, which is why the 2 that he went under worse when he was playing as left back. Now he's playing as a much more attacking role, and it's a good matchup at home. So I like this prop. I like Miguel Gutierrez to go higher than 1.5 shots assisted. before I get into the money lines, if you guys please could like the video, comment as well. It really helps boost the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and if you want to support the channel just a little more, you can consider joining the YouTube membership for those again that want to support the channel and get the plays out and video out early before it goes out to the public, just so you can guarantee your plays, because these plays do tend to get bumped and taken away shortly after this video goes out. Same thing, if you see any pictures on the screen, is from a data app called Outlier. Link for that, linked in the description. Same thing with all my player props and moneyline where I do my ladder challenge, linked in the description as well. And I really want to thank anybody who supports me in any way. For my first moneyline play, I got my ladder challenge play. We are so close. We hit day 8. We're on to day 9. 2 more days to go. We're so close. And the play that I found that I like for day 9 is higher than 0.5 goals in the first half for the Girona and Valladolid game. It hit for us on day 8 with a different game, and I like it for this prop here in this game as well. Both teams are leaky on defense. Girona have conceded 25 goals in 13 games in general, and Valladolid have conceded 34 in 17. So Girona concede almost 2 goals a game, and Valladolid do concede 2 goals a game, which is just good for us. And the play has hit in the first half at home for Girona in 7 out of 8 games. That's an 88% hit rate. And for Valladolid, away from home in the first half, has hit in 6 out of 8 games. So it's a 75% hit rate. That's a good hit rate for both teams in general, which is good for us. And for Girona in the first half at home, they conceded 7 goals and scored 8. So that's good. They are either team can score when it comes to them. And for Valladolid, they've only scored 2, but they have conceded 9. The opponent is more likely to score, so obviously Girona is more likely to score than Girona. But I like the safetiness here because, like I mentioned before, Girona is very leaky on defense. They concede more goals in the first half than in the second half. So if there's any chance for Valladolid to score, it will be in this first half. And I just like it because of Girona's ability to be able to score and their inability to defend as well. This prop hit in both games when they faced each other last season, home and away. This prop hit in both games as well. And another reason why I like this play is because matchup-wise, Romeo, who is a defensive midfielder for Girona, will be out due to suspension for a lot of yellow cards. So Girona will lose that defensive presence with him, and they will very, very likely be replacing him with a much more offensive player, whether that's Aspirilla or Van de Beek. So even without Romeo, in general, Girona are good in the attack. And now they're going to replace him for an even more offensive player. So, one, there's more of a chance that they will score because they will be playing more offensive. And 2, more of a chance that they will concede because they're losing that defensive presence in general. And again, if Valladolid have a chance to score, it will be in this first half. And they scored against them in both games last season. Valladolid were able to score against them in both games last season, so it's just more of a chance for Valladolid to score. If anything, they already conceded a loss, so Girona can easily get that goal themselves. They're much more likely to. So I just like the odds you're getting here. Pretty much either team needs to score in the first half, so I like this prop. I like higher than 0.5 goals in the first half for the Girona Valladolid game for -300 for day 9 of our ladder challenge. And then the second play that I found that I like is in the Coupe de France, the French Cup, and that's Lille -1.5 going against FC Rouen for -110. It's just a big team playing against a smaller team. It's pretty self-explanatory. Rouen are a mediocre team in the 3rd division of the French league. They don't even play in the 2nd division. They're in the 3rd division. They are decent when it comes to defense. They're average when it comes to offense, but they're decent when it comes to defense. But again, they're playing against these much smaller teams, and Leo is just a better team. They have plenty of quality players, even if they have a blend of starters, bench players, or young players. Their team is just much higher quality. But another reason why I really like this prop is because after this game, Lille will not have another game in any competition until January the 4th. That's like a 1 week, 2 week break for them. So if anything, they might not even rotate a lot of players because they do not have to worry about injuries or having to play another big game soon, because their next game is not until January 4th. So again, they do not really have a reason to rotate players. So they might not even rotate any other starters. Not that many, if any. They still can play a lot of players like Jonathan David. They can play players like Cabela. They just have plenty of players they can still play because they have plenty of time until their next game. And because it's the first round of the Coupe de France, round of 16, I do not see Lille wanting, obviously, to go out this far or this soon into the competition. So I see them playing hard here. I just trust the quality of Lille. They're undefeated in all competitions, and the last 16 games straight they haven't lost. So, and that's against much better teams. Now they're playing against a 3rd division team. team, so they should be able to beat them here, and I like them to score to beat them by 2 goals. Lille might not even concede in general. I don't see Rouen having a great time here. Besides, Lille is a clinical team who on average in just the league alone have scored 1.7 goals from 4.6 shots on target on average. So they convert around 37% of the shots on target that they face. And Rouen will concede a lot of those shots on target. So I think it's a good matchup. They're playing against a much smaller team, and they have no reason to rotate their players. So like Lille -1.5 going up against Rouen for -110. Thank you everybody for watching. Quickly going over last video's picks. Didn't have any added plays. I was at work and I still took a look at the plays while I was at work and I didn't see anything I liked, so there was no reason to force a place. But we had 1 player prop, 1 money line, swept that, so back-to-back video sweeps. Obviously, day 8 of the ladder challenge, Fiorentina and Guimarães to get a goal in the first half hit. It was a bit of a sweep, but there was a lot of chances for, especially for Guimarães, and they were able to convert one, so that hit for us. And then we had Bissouma, hard in 2 tackles. He hit that within like the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game. That one was absolutely easy for us. It was a great read, and he came through for us. So that was great for us. So hopefully we can carry on that momentum going into tomorrow's slate, going into the player props, hopefully hitting day 9 of the ladder challenge. And for those that don't know, I do have the free Discord linked in the description. It is not a premium or anything like that. It's just for those that want to join, look at other people's plays, talk about their own plays, talk during the games, talk about other sports in general. Just a good community that I'm trying to build over there. So if you're interested in that, free, linked in the description. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.